All right. And we are live and in living color. Welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling. I'm your host, Ray, coming straight from the multiverse. As you can see
Yes,
behind me,
sir.
we have, I'm here joined by my co-host, aka Dr. Strange, Dustin. I couldn't remember what he was.
What's up, everybody?
And guys, today we are joined by our guest, none other, for the second time, coming in, Mike, aka Jiggly Thrift. Mike, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. It is great to be here. Thanks for having me again.
Of course, man. Of course. I know, Mike, last time that we had you, and this is one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you back on, you were transitioning from a part-time reseller to a full-time reseller.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember when we had you on before, but now that you've gotten, when was that? How long ago was
it? I think it was August or something.
Okay.
Because I went full-time July 1st. You know, I mean, I made like my first serious TikTok on July 18th. So I'd say somewhere in the beginning of August, you probably had me on last year. So
yeah,
it's been a while.
It's been a while, and I know you've learned a lot since then, right?
I've been trying to, you know.
You've been trying. I feel like you've learned
too.
a little bit. You've learned some.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we wanted to have you on, because I wouldn't say we want to learn from your mistakes, but it's kind of like one of those things to where we want to be able to, or we want you to be able to discuss some tips or some things that you might have wanted to do different from transitioning from part-time reseller to full-time reseller, so that's, a good portion of what we wanted to have you on here.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we want to just be on here, say hi to the people in the chat and have fun,
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So speaking of people in the chat, let's say hi to some people in the chat.
Yeah, who's in
we
here?
have our boy Thrift Native. Now, Thrift Native, he was just on TikTok with me. We're talking about Seinfeld, which is arguably one of the best, my favorite sitcom of all time. Even though I'm wearing a Dunder Mifflin office shirt, I was wearing my Seinfeld shirt earlier on in the week. So, Mike, I know we haven't, we're talking about overrated, underrated with the, segment of the show, but what is your favorite sitcom of all time?
The Office wins every time.
The Office
10 out
wins.
of 10. Yeah.
10 out of 10. What about you, Dustin? I feel like Dustin's more like a Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Wonder
maybe
Years
like Roseanne.
Family Matters.
Or something.
Full
Family
House.
Matters.
Old school Full House. For sure.
So, okay. Nice.
I was going to go Three's Company for a second.
Didn't they reboot that recently? Three's Company?
I don't think so. Hey, but didn't you have a Seinfeld moment this week?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
You have to bring that up, don't you?
I got to bring it up because, it reminds me of that Seinfeld episode when you get 40 miles to the gap to empty.
Okay. So Dustin's putting me on the spot. So this week, I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday. I can't remember exactly what day it was. I'm driving to work, and then I'm turning into the street to where, I go to work, and I'm like maybe like a minute to my job, right? I turn to the street, and then all of a sudden my truck just stops working. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? And I'm like, I put it in park. I turn off the truck. I try cranking it, and it's cranking, but it's not turning over. And I'm just like, oh man, maybe it's the starter, maybe it's the fuel pump or something like that, right? So I start pushing it because I want to get it to a parking spot because I don't want to cause a whole scene, with like cops coming and people or whatever. So I'm pushing it and I'm trying to steer it. And mind you, I have like a F-150. It's got 30-inch wheels on it. It's a big truck.
And you're in the middle of the street at this point then?
I'm like a little bit, yeah, basically I'm in the middle of the street. So I'm pushing the truck, and then maybe like 100 yards from me, there's like a fitness center, and a really nice skinny bitty lady comes out, and she was like, hey, do you need any help? I'm like, yes, thank you. I'm like, just, if you can just get in the truck and steer it, I can push it. I'm like, and she's like, okay, I can do that. So I'm pushing the truck. And at this point, I'm like going uphill. I can't push it any further. And somebody else comes out. It's there's like a lawn, like they sell like lawnmowers and stuff business, like on the corner. A guy comes out, he helps me push it into a parking spot, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I call the tow truck company. I'm like, hey, my truck's not working. Can I get it towed to the place that works on my truck? And I'm like, okay, cool. While they're coming, I'm calling the auto shop, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. And they're like, well, we probably won't get to it till like later on in the week. I'm like, okay, that's cool. No problem. It's got to get fixed regardless. Right. They come and pick me up. They drop me off at work. They drop the truck off at the mechanic. Around 3:00 that afternoon, the mechanic calls me. He's like, his name's Wendell. Hey, Ray, how's it going? Good, Wendell. How are you doing? It's like, did you guys get a chance to look at my truck? He's like, yeah, we looked at it and you just ran out of gas. And I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah, your tank was on empty. Your meter was saying 0 miles to the gallon. So we put $25. We put $25 of gas in it and it cranked right up. And I'm like, you're kidding. And he's like, no, it just cranked right up. And he's like, but you do need a new battery. It's like, you want to put a new battery in it? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and put a new battery in it. So I don't know what I was thinking about when I was driving. I knew I had to get gas when I left the house, and I just had a brain fart. So
no lie, I was coming home from the Goodwill bins a couple months ago, and that happened. I was on the highway. I looked down, and it had just clicked from 1 mile left to 0, and I got off and just like coasted into a like baseball field parking lot, and had to sit there and wait for someone to bring gas.
Oh man,
I was so excited about the thrift, I forgot about gas.
It's crazy. I want to know if anybody in the chat's ever ran out of gas. For me, I felt like an idiot because I knew I had to get gas, and I just completely forgot about it. And then I didn't even think about it. Like I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I'm gonna have to put up like hundreds of dollars just to get my truck fixed. And luckily enough, it just needed $25 in gas. So
I had my fuel pump going down Mont Eagle in college. So that was kind of scary. I had to coast down a freaking hill that was like steep incline, steep grade, freaking out.
It's terrible. So let's say hi to some people in the chat. We have Luis, the Keller reseller. He says hello. And we got Chris, Flip the World. He says cheater. If you guys don't know, Mike and Chris do a live show. Is it every other week, Mike?
Yeah, it's every other week.
And is it on a Sunday or is it on a Saturday?
It's on Sunday.
So next week, you guys go on Chris's channel, and then you can, they do a similar situation here. I was texting, or I was messaging Chris back and forth. I'm like, you should cue the Brandy Monica "Boy Is Mine" music. I don't know if you know the song, Mike. You might be a little younger than me, but I love that's one of our favorite songs.
I think I'm familiar.
There you go. We have Jessie with Gorgeous Boutique. She says hello. Native Thrift says Community for the win. I have never seen an episode of Community. So have you? Has anybody else seen an episode of Community?
No, I didn't even know that was a show. I thought he was talking about people helping you push your truck.
Oh, well, he's probably right. That's probably what he means. So we have Utah Buckingham. He said, what's up, guys? Good to see you, man. Glad you can join us today. A Rural Squirrel says, hey, guys. I like that name.
I like that name.
Squirrel. Yeah, right?
That's probably my favorite so far.
Mm-hmm. And then we have WikiPix.
Oh,
now,
wow.
this is a group of resellers. Yeah. Yeah, dude. If you guys have not followed him on TikTok, you need to, because his stuff is awesome. So we have the Flipping Sports Guy. He says, how's it going? And all right, Mike. So, here we go. The Flipping Sports Guy says, I ran out of gas once right after I pulled out of the driveway on my way to the gas. Yep. It felt like me. That felt exactly like me. And then WikiPix says, I have never ran out of gas. I've never ran out of gas literally until last week. So it's embarrassing. I told when I was on the phone, I said, man, I feel like a dumbass. And then my the whole office just started like cracking up. So Zach says, I ran out of gas in high school and this pretty girl helped me push my car. It It was the first girl I've ever brave enough to ask. Oh, nice.
Let's go.
That's nice.
Things happen for a reason.
Nice. I had a $300 POS breakdown on the side of the freeway. I took the plates off and walked away, never to be seen. Oh wow, that's interesting.
I guess at that point,
Yeah. Oh, Brad's autographs. Oh, dude, hey, how's it going? Glad you can stop by. Oh, nice. Thrift Native says, I'm knocking out the death pile while I'm watching. Thank you so much for doing that.
tackle our death pile after too.
Death pile. I like to call it my inventory reserve. Just, that's what
just
I
in
like.
case. There's another lockdown. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mike, for the people that may not know you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know that you have a pretty interesting story on how you became a reseller. So if you can just kind of touch basis on that for everyone that may not know you, that would be great.
Well, pretty much I started by just selling random Pokemon cards. I got back into collecting Pokemon cards kind of late in life. And I started selling Pokemon cards on Instagram and stuff. And then I got brave enough to try out eBay for, the things that I couldn't sell. Like otherwise, I'm like, I'll branch out to a wider audience, I guess. Started selling on eBay and I really enjoyed it. So I just started like in my spare time when I wasn't working at my full-time job, like my full-time job at the time. In my spare time, I was just picking random stuff that I had in the house and selling it on eBay, like Funko Pops and action figures and like sports cards, Pokemon cards, just anything I could find around the house. And then, I ended up I did that for a little while, ended up falling on some ice and getting hurt. And, sorry. And then, I got surgery, came back to work and was like, I can't do this anymore. And I was having so much fun with reselling at the time. I was making a decent amount of money. I wouldn't even say I was making like what I was making at my job whenever I went full time, but I just with the injury, I kind of had to, pick one or the other. And I just picked the one that I liked the most. So that's pretty much it.
I love it, man. And I think the ice is scared of you now,
I'm scared of the ice. It started snowing today. And I'm like, I'm getting in the house and I'm staying in there until further notice. I can't slip again.
That's great.
I go down hard.
Yeah, I can only imagine. What and you said so you first started transitioning from full-time reselling in August. So that what is that, like 9 months, something like that, or how long ago is that?
I on July 1st of last year was my last full-time day at my that was my not full-time, but that was my last day of working a real job, July 1st of last year. So
nice. Okay. All right. We got some people in the chat saying Chris says, how about them cowgirls tonight? Crazy game. Crazy game. Here we go. Henry or Hey Rach Disco says, did you get any of your Pokemon cards graded before selling them on eBay? I have an entire box of them I'll be selling.
Most of them, actually. Most of the cards that I bought, I kind of got graded just because it was so easy at the time. I mean, I think back then when I was doing it, it was like a 60-day wait or something just for a standard submission.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was waiting 2 months and it felt like 2 years. But then, my last submission to PSA, because I just sent through PSA. So my last PSA submission, it took the better part of a whole year. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. But luckily I sent all my Charizards in my last submission. So I was able to sell those and make a nice chunk of money, I guess. Right as I got injured, I got my surgery, and then 3 days after I came home, my PSA submission came back. So that pretty much paid for my whole surgery. And, I had money while I was stuck on the couch.
Man, that's
awesome. Couldn't have happened any better.
Yeah, perfect timing. Pedro says, did y'all move on from Give Me a 5? It's a great question. Dustin, would you like to answer that question?
I wouldn't say we've moved on. It's more of a little break. per se.
Little
Because
break.
lately, give me 5. They've been putting out stuff, but this hasn't been that great, honestly. And Ben Day, we've been finding fire, almost every week. I think
Every
there's
week.
been 1 week where I think Ray didn't find anything, but other than that, I mean, it's been fire.
Yeah. Now, let me preface by saying this. I didn't find I could have bought things, but knowing I like a certain profit margin, I have a lot of stuff as it is, so it's like we're getting to a point to where we're really picky about the things that we pick up. Like if it's something that sells quick and you can make over $10, we're gonna pick it up. But like going to the bin stores, we're getting to a point to where like we're super picky, and it's like, is it worth even listing for us? I don't know. What do you think about that, Mike? Do you have
I have been super. I mean, I've been trying to sell a lot because that's how I make my money. But at the same time, I just haven't been sourcing as much as I did last year. It's just been like I've just been trying to make the most of what I already have. Some family members have recently given me some stuff to sell, so I've just been, experimenting with different inventory while trying to transition to only selling shoes. So it's like I'm picky when I go thrifting, but like if people are cleaning out their house and like giving stuff away, I'll pretty much try to sell whatever. But I have been super picky at like the thrift stores recently. So I can say, yeah, I'm kind of along the same. Sorry, I clicked on the chat here and I couldn't get it. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a little different on the phone.
Yeah, I popped the chat up and I was like, I'm talking, but I can't see anything.
Yeah.
I finally got it off. I'm sorry.
Fred's got a great question. He says, Mike, can you make money on TikTok?
Yeah, you can. I don't. I just like posting the videos.
And that's where Chris is saying Mike does it for the love of the community.
Yeah, it's in quotes though.
Yeah. So Glenn the Swamp Picker, he says, hello, Ray and Dustin. Good to see you, Glenn.
What's up?
Just Fred, to kind of reiterate on that question, you can make money on TikTok once you get, a certain point. You can get monetized on there, just like you do YouTube. And of course, the majority of your money, if you're able to do brand deals and stuff like that, it's way better. And then it can just help you increase your brand in any way. So you can make money, just like anything else. So I know Facebook is doing a new Reels program where you can get money. So Mike, you got great videos, and I think you should jump on.
Are you on Facebook?
I'm not, and we haven't discussed it. Dustin and I haven't discussed it, but that's something maybe we can look forward to do it. And
Reels. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, so it's the same. I'm just gonna repurpose the content. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all it is. So, all right. So, Mike, we've gotten to know you a little better. Just a little bit. We got your origin story here of how you became Mike Jiggly Thrift. And before we get into the next segment on the show, Jiggly Thrift. How'd you come up with that name, Mike Jiggly Thrift? What's going on with that?
I like thrifting and I like Pokemon. And whenever I met my girlfriend and told her I like Pokemon, she said, "Oh, I like Jigglypuff." So I was pretty much just sitting here one day and I was like, Jiggly Thrift. And someone that I was like friends with back whenever I was like more into Pokemon, he actually drew like the Jiggly Thrift logo. So I'm like, I have a picture of like this picture of Jigglypuff on my phone. I'm like thrifting Pokemon, put it together. And it stuck. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it whenever I first started. I'm like, people are probably going to think I'm weird, but it seemed to catch on. I've got a few compliments on it. So
I like it for sure. Let's see here. We have Chris saying, he said, we will eventually end up on OnlyFans. So there you go. For a small fee of $9.99 a month, Jiggly Thrift will show you his Pokeball.
For $10, I'll do whatever.
Right. Let's see. Swampbaker says, "You ever get noticed? You look like the guy on Lost and High 50 or HI 50." I'm sure you get that a lot.
I'm lost.
I heard someone on Lost, I think, before.
Mhm.
Wh-
Pull
Pull that back up.
Pull up the guy on the
Oh,
share.
what is his name, Dustin? Do you know?
Let's look up lost characters.
You know who? Have you ever watched that show, Mike?
No, I've never watched it. Someone said that in a TikTok comment, and I looked it up. I get people tell me I look like Chumley a lot. The wrestler Braun Strowman. Like
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I get
Let's
a lot of stuff. I don't.
His name is Jorge Garcia. I think you look a little better than old Jorge, but I can see where people might notice that. You know,
Yeah,
that boy is looking a little thick, real thick. Actually.
I am too.
So
I can see it. I see it.
So, all right. So before we get into the next segment on the show, guys, we did just drop a new YouTube video. We're doing a giveaway. So check out that video. All the details are in the video, and I'm going to show you. We're going to be giving away this Commonwealth Picker Edaman plush on top of some other things. So go over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. Once we reach 3,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving this away at random. What do you think about that? You got one of these, Mike, don't you?
I got a big one.
You got a big one. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at
it
that.
Used to be like a golf club head cover, I think.
Oh, okay. So everyone needs one of these. If you haven't already, everyone needs one of these.
And we might even toss in $25 gift card for gas for your adventures.
We'll throw that in there, Dustin. I think that'll be that's a good thing too. So, Mike, are you ready for the segment of the show, overrated, underrated?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So for the people that may not know, the segment of the show is called Overrated, Underrated, where we're going to give Mike 10 different subjects, 5 being reselling related, 5 not being reselling related. And
are you going to give a shout out to Poppin' Off Toys?
Have I given a shout out to Poppin' Off Toys?
Yeah.
I have not given a shout out to Poppin' Off Toys. So the sponsor of the podcast is none other than poppinofftoys.com, the leading provider of Funko Pops. If you want to get Funko Pops, you can go over to poppinofftoys.com, use the code Nashville Flippers, and you'll receive 10% off your entire order. Mike, they just dropped the new Valentine edition Star Wars Funko Pops. You have Yoda. You have Luke with Yoda. You have I think it's the Mandalorian. I mean, you got some good stuff there. They also just dropped the new Batman movie Funko Pops.
Oh, wow.
If you're into that, they just dropped those. Selena Kyle, which is aka Catwoman. And then I saw this earlier too, and I think I might have to scoop my wife some. Her favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast. So I've never seen these before. Beauty and the Beast Funko Pops. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic. Who wouldn't want that? And if you use the code Nashville Flippers, you'll get 10% off.
10%
Can't beat it.
Let's get it.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it, guys. And I know it's really hard. Have you ever shipped any Funko Pops before, Mike?
Yeah, I had a lot of Dragon Ball Z ones that I sold, and people are real particular. I had to get like custom made boxes for them because corners would get smushed and smashed, and I had to, really put a lot of care. And I tried so hard to, ship them first class. Sometimes they would make it, sometimes they wouldn't, just because, you had to put so much padding in there.
Exactly. So Poppin' Off Toys, one of the good things from Poppin' Off Toys is they're collectors, so they know exactly how important it is to get those Funko Pops. So their shipping methods are the best in the business. So you're not going to worry about your Funko Pops coming in damaged. So Chris says, I couldn't ever get one, so I just bought a real one and wrote Fleet and marker. Oh, man. So that's fantastic. So, all right. So let's move to overrated, underrated. Number 1, I'll go first, Dustin.
All right.
And I know, Mike, before I start overrated, underrated,
Mhm.
I want to know, I know there's some of the stuff may be different from when you started till now. So that's kind of where we're going here. So
Okay.
overrated, underrated, number one, the Goodwill.
The Goodwill. I think I said underrated last time, just because I don't see a lot of like resellers shopping there. But I'm gonna I see a lot of like everyone on Instagram seems to have a Savers around them, and like
Right?
me, it's just strictly Goodwill. So I think I said underrated last time, but I'm gonna go overrated. They've been hurting my feelings a little bit on shoe prices recently. I've been having to find some other like secret little thrift stores. 'Cause, yeah, Goodwill's been a little stingy with the shoes recently. Not putting a ton of new stuff out, pricing stuff real high. So I'm going to
What's the
say
average?
overrated.
What's the average shoe price that you have at your Goodwill?
Well, they just right when I went full time, they had just changed it to $6.99 for like flat price every shoe, and it was great
Wow.
for a while. And then then certain Goodwills would like toss a $10 shoe in there, $14.99 shoe, and then it's like, and then they just kind of totally got away from the $6.99 flat price, and they've just been marking everything. I don't know if they had like a surplus of shoes. I'm sorry, I don't know if they had like a surplus of shoes, and they're like, all right, $6.99 for them all, and then once they were gone, they were gone or what. But yeah, it's been I'd say right now, like the thrift stores I'm going to, I pay right around 5 to 7. That's what I try to keep my buy cost, like $6 pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. Because I
So
know that Dustin picks up a lot of shoes at our Goodwill. I don't know, you always find the great shoes, Dustin. And I know every time I go there, the shoes that I think are worth money, they want like $19.99, $14.99. I'm just like, come on, man.
mhm.
Where are the $4.99, $5.99 shoes that Dustin's finding all the time?
Well, half of mine are $10, but I charge shipping on them and end up getting that money back.
Yeah.
So,
that's good. I know here's a little bolo for you guys that I find all the time at the Goodwill. And I think they do it. Maybe they price their shoes by the weight or what they are. Like boots, of course, are going to be worth more than like light running shoes or whatnot.
Mhm.
But Allbirds, great brand to look for. You got to be careful because sometimes you'll get them taken down, of course. But usually, my Goodwill, I'll find a pair of Allbirds for $4.99 to $5.99, and I'll price them real cheap and get them in and get them out. And they sell like within the day or two. So
Yeah, they honestly don't look like much. I've never
Mm-mm.
found a pair. I keep finding the what I think like Faded Glory, like Walmart edition or whatever it is.
That's funny.
So
That's funny. Oh, shout out to Faded Glory. And what's up?
or
The
whatever it
Walmart
is.
brand,
I don't even.
George.
oh, George, hey, don't sleep on George.
Don't sleep on George. A Walmart brand for wearing at least. Hey, Rach Disco says, I've been selling Epcot 35th anniversary Figment Funko Pops on my eBay, and I have used a box twice as big. LOL. Lots of air packs and bubble wrap. I'm so scared about shipping them. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's tough. It's tough. So if you want to purchase the stuff for yourself, go to poppingofftoys.com. But I wanted to, we're talking about savers, Mike.
Mhm.
I keep the same thing. I look at people on their Instagrams and they're at Savers and they have a wall full of these bags of toys.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, I would like, my
Yeah.
head would literally explode
Mhm.
if I saw those grab bags like that.
Yeah.
Like
Like
that's
my
crazy.
Goodwill, like the Goodwills in my area for the grab bags, they'll do like, I guess it's like specials of the day. Like they'll hang them up like first thing, and then once they sell, it's like they're gone. There's no like grab bag walls.
Yeah.
So it's like the best value. You can get like a golf ball, a flashlight, and like a $300 action figure in one bag. It's just
Yeah. You never know. Yeah, we need grab bags. We need a hat that says "Bring back, make grab bags great again" or something like that. We have Adam Exploits. He comes to join us. Good to see you, Adam. We're actually going to have Adam next week on the podcast. So if you guys go check out his channel, Adam Exploits. So next one up, overrated, underrated, number 2, Mike.
Yep. Number 2, Monopoly.
Monopoly?
Yep.
It's overrated. The game never ends. It's not even fun. Like, it's only fun, like, by the time you have it all set up and all the money passed out, like, I don't even want to play anymore. I just want to look at the board. It is extremely overrated.
There you go.
Got that right.
Great
I feel
answer.
very strongly about Monopoly.
Okay. Let us know in the chat, guys, if you think that any of these, in your opinion, if they're overrated, underrated. Yeah, I just think of so many other board games that I'd rather be playing than Monopoly. Like Dustin and I, literally, when we were still when I was still living at my parents' house, and my sister, his wife now, was living there too, and Dustin would just be there, right? It's one of those things, right?
Yep, was there.
Literally every night for 4 or 5 months, we played Settlers of Catan.
Yep.
Have you ever played Settlers of Catan, Mike?
No.
Oh, it's so fun. You're missing out.
So great. It's
Sorry,
so
the
great.
plow truck's driving by if you hear anything.
The plow. It's Homer Simpson, Mr. Plow truck moving by.
Just drove by doing about 40. I hope he didn't hit my car.
Oh, snap. Snap. All right. So Rachel says, hi, friends. Good to see you, Rachel. If you guys haven't checked out Rachel Strickland's YouTube channel, make sure to check her out. She's got some great stuff on there. She also says Monopoly is a 46-day long game. See, Settlers of Catan is pretty long also, but it's pretty legit. Wouldn't you say, Dustin?
It's actually fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
I can't think of it like any board games I really ever played. Like, it's just not my thing. I like Uno. Uno is pretty good, but that's not a board game.
Well, if we ever get together, Mike, if for some reason Dustin and I don't know, plan a Nashville reseller meetup, we get together, we can all play Settlers of Catan on here. I think that would be fun.
There we go.
So Adam says he's having Adam Pittsburgh Picks on his show this Wednesday. So check that out for sure. We have Meg. It's me. It's Meg Sells. If you haven't checked her out, guys, make sure you do that on Instagram and on TikTok. She's absolutely awesome. I think Monopoly is underrated mainly. Oh, that's a hot take, Zach. Hot take. Mainly because of what it teaches about owning real estate, LOL. But yes, it's a long game. See, Settlers of Catan is kind of the same thing. You can buy and trade goods and stuff like that. So Chris says Monopoly teaches you greed always wins. That's funny. All right, so let's move on. Overrated, underrated, Mike, and this is a good one I want to put on here. Storage units to keep your inventory in.
I have a storage unit, so I don't know. I kind of want to say overrated. It's like you're paying for another place for your stuff to live. Like, you have to pay for a place for you to live and then a place for your stuff to live. So I'm going to say overrated just because I just paid my storage unit fee, but underrated for the fact that you can get your work out of the house, So
that's a good point.
I don't enjoy paying for it, but you know what? I'm going to say underrated. I think, because it's nice sometimes to go away, like not go away, but like get away to my storage unit and organize stuff and, bend and twist shoes, make sure they're not dry rotted, make sure my inventory's up to par. So it's nice to sometimes get out of the house and work, and it's nice to have like my work out of the house for the most part. So I'm going to say underrated, I guess.
That's a great point. Would you ever think of, like, I know that I think you live in an apartment building. Would you ever consider maybe like getting like once you live in a home, maybe like a garage or a shed or anything to keep your inventory?
I would love to have a shed. I really enjoy how Commonwealth Picker. Very lucky getting to meet him, by the way.
Yeah, man, it was fun.
I really like how his shed is set up. It gives you a very nice feeling. Like everything's there. Nothing's out of place. Like the tape gun's always here. The boxes are always here. That's the hard part of having like an apartment. I have to go around and gather everything and then come to the dining room table and pack my orders. So
Gotcha.
I'd love to have a shed one day.
Goals. Chris is saying too, how does one scale without one? Which is a great question or a great response to the overrated, underrated. And like you said, if you have a lot of stuff, there's you have no choice but to get a storage unit, or multiple storage units.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have the ability to have a large property to put sheds, that would be another way to put your inventory. But like you were saying, Mike, to live with your inventory constantly would be terrible. I think that would be terrible. Like Dustin and I both have garages, so we can get it out there. You know what I mean? Just like not look at it unless it's like sitting in our offices waiting to get listed. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Let's see. Adam says, and yeah, I do. I just remember this too, Adam. He says the 30th, Ray, just double checking on our messages. Yes, sir. It is the 30th that he will be on the podcast. So Thrift Native says storage units are properly rated because it's dependent on your situation. My friend has a unit that doubles as storage and a place to take pictures. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't take your pictures in your storage unit, do you?
If I have no, I don't. But if I have something bigger, like a piece of furniture or golf clubs or something, I will store that, picture it at the storage unit and then just put it right into storage. But everything else gets pictured at home and then taken down to the storage unit. Because I don't have, there's no light or anything inside of the storage unit. So it's dark in the morning and then it's right up against the climate controlled units. So one side of it's warm, one side of it's super cold. So it's just not the best working environment all the time. But, I'll go there and straighten stuff up. So I will do work there, but never listing work.
Gotcha. That's good to know. Rachel just says she got a cha-ching random photo of a woman in the 50s, $10 plus shipping. That's crazy. What I'm curious to know what what the listing title was for that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. What is that called, Mike? Do you know old letters and documents? What is that?
Ephemera or something?
Ephemera. That's what it is. Ephemera. I feel like that's really big. A lot of people buy ephemera. I don't know why, but they do.
I don't know why either. You got to handle it real.
Exactly. Swamp Baker says, bye. Have to go. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. It's Glenn. Marie is in the building. Good to see you, Marie.
Hello.
Glad that you can join us. Rachel says, I live with my inventory, but the sneakers understand me. So that's hilarious. I think that's so funny. And we have random chick picker. It says, hey guys, glad to make it live. I'm glad that you're here. Good to see you for sure. Let's see here. Chris says, yep, have 2 light boxes, one of our units. We clean our shoes at home and then move tubs to unit. Oh, nice. That's good. I'm really curious of the whole storage unit thing, how that really works for a lot of people. So let's see here. Rachel says title was Found Photo Woman, Pretty Girl Portrait 50s Black White Judy School.
Huh.
That's interesting. And it's sold $10 plus shipping. So that's hilarious.
On eBay.
Exactly. Thrift Native wants to know, Mike, do you really think the Taco Bell sauce packets are legit sales?
Yeah, I do. Did you see my TikTok that I made the other day? Someone was asking a question about
seen it.
What?
I haven't seen it. I'm sure Thrift Native has seen it.
Okay, so I made a TikTok about someone was asking about an air sauce packet that they had. It didn't have any sauce, it just had air in it. And they're like, do you think I could get anything for it? So I looked on eBay and people sell lots of 100 packets of sauce for $20, $30. I don't know why, but I mean, if they were fake sales, I feel like they'd be a lot more. The Black Diamond VHS tapes that sell for $1,500. That's what I think when I think fake sales. I don't think $20 for a sauce packet.
It's crazy. And is it I know the Diablo sauce, they don't sell that. Do they give that away anymore?
I don't know. The ones that I saw, someone sold like 35 packs of fire sauce for $20, and then 100 hot sauces for $33.99 free shipping.
That's
Those were
crazy.
like the two, like the most legit looking listings that I found. So
You never
So
know,
good for
guys.
them.
Things sell. Things sell.
Get free inventory at Taco Bell. Never have to source again.
There you go.
Right.
AKA immediately drives to Taco Bell and asks for extra sauce.
Extra sauce. I need
Extra sauce.
I really like the sauce.
Oh, this is a great point by Chris. It's because they put messages on them like, "Will you marry me?" and "I do," which sold as a set. That's a great point.
Huh.
Great point. Here we go.
Tighten up.
Tighten up, baby. Next week. We still know. It looks like the Bengals will be playing the Bengals. So, all right, let's move on. Number
Najee
4,
Harris was
overrated, underrated.
Number 4, 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Yeah.
The rapper.
So he was like, I loved him whenever I was a kid. Like whenever what was that album, Get Rich or Die Trying or something like that?
Yeah.
With In the Club on it. Like that,
Yep.
that CD, I listened to it until it didn't play anymore. Like I had so many CD players that I'd hold like this and just listen to 50 Cent. And, he was great. But now I don't even know what he does. He just like goes on Instagram and, picks fights with people or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, so.
I know he has a ton of money. So I'm going to say he's overrated now.
Okay. I know when I was working on the list, I text Dustin. I'm like, man, you need to listen to some 50 Cent. And he's like, why? And I'm like, that's going to be one of the things on the list. And I was like, his music is great. It's like those first 2 albums. And then I don't know, after that, he kind of fell off.
Yeah.
But the G Unit album was really good too.
Yeah.
So,
I
know he owned the brand Vitamin Water for a long time and then sold it to Coca-Cola. So I think that's where he made.
Yeah, I know he has a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the G Unit shoes that they used to have?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I wanted those so bad. The ones with like the spinners on the side, the rims.
Oh. You know what? I'm curious, Mike. You've G Unit shoes. I'm just curious to know.
And then Reebok made like G Unit shoes as well.
I'm just curious to know what a pair of G Unit shoes sells for nowadays. This could be a Bolo segment of the show, aka G Unit shoes. So, look, Reebok G Unit shoes, $49.99 with those in bids, $89.99, $170. There's no way. $49, $90, $232 at bids, guys.
Wow.
G Unit. It's the Reebok G6 G Unit men's retro size 11. Those are crispy.
Wow.
So there you have it, guys. G Unit sneakers, a Bolo for
look out for
today.
G Unit sneakers.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Here we go. You shouldn't throw stones if you live in glass houses. If you're glass jaw, you should watch your mouth because I'll break your face. It's one of the hard. There you go. He got it, baby. He got it. We have Chris, the Cajun reseller. What's going on, Chris? Glad you can make it, brother. The video game they put out, Get Rich or Die Trying, was actually a fun. Oh man, I forgot they had a video game too. Was he in the video game? Death Jam, isn't it Death Jam Vendetta, the fighting?
Yeah. I don't think he was in that game.
Okay. I didn't know if he was or not. I know that game is worth a ton of money if you can find it.
Yeah. That was a good game too.
I never got the chance to play it, and I kind of want to play it now, but unless I want to spend like $200 to play the game,
it's too expensive now.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's move on. Overrated, underrated, number 5. Thermal printers, Mike.
I'm going to say appropriately rated. It seems like everyone's kind of on the same page with them. Everyone seems to like them, and I agree. I mean, before I got my thermal printer, I used to take every single package to the post office with the handwritten address on it and pay their full, like, ridiculous price. Like, I've saved so much money with a thermal printer. And I don't even have a computer. I had to buy like a pretty expensive one to connect up to my phone. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah, I paid like, I think $400 for mine or something.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a lot or what. I thought it was a lot, but
it is a lot. I don't know.
I never regret that purchase. What's that?
Rollo just put out their Bluetooth enabled one, but I have no clue what it cost.
Yeah. So, mine's a Brother brand printer, so
okay,
it's not bad.
Okay, nice. So let's move on. Oh, number 6, overrated, underrated.
Number 6, Logan Paul.
I'm gonna say underrated. He has a ton of money and a ton of time on his hands. I don't know why people don't think that he could be a good boxer. I mean, I think I don't really think he's buying the fights. I don't know. I think he's actually putting a lot of time into it. You know.
Nice. Now is that his brother that you're referring to, or are you referring to Logan?
Oh, that's Jake Paul. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Logan Paul, yeah, I guess overrated because I don't even know who he is. I'm thinking it's his brother.
It is his brother. Well, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, if you don't know, I know you collect Pokemon cards, Mike, but he just purchased the infamous $3.5 million case of first edition Pokemon cards, which later he found out that they were fake.
G.I. Joe cards.
G.I. Joe cards, baby.
Okay, I don't know why I got them confused because I was just talking to you the other day about Logan Paul, but I don't know what I saw today that made me immediately think Jake Paul. But yeah, that's crazy. 3.5 million. Like, what happens now? Like, does he get his money back, or does
he's got to get his money back?
Yeah, I think he gets his money back. He's got to. He got duped.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He got.
I'm going to say, I'll say he's underrated then because that he had to be pretty brave to just put $3.5 million out there. That's, I'll say underrated. I like him.
Okay. Nice. Thrift Native, he says underrated. He's the white boy Kardashian of marketing. Boxing is just a play to market his. Hey, I think he's a brilliant marketer as well. Which Thrift Native brings up a good point. He says, I think he knew that they were fake. Another marketing play, which I don't know what kind of YouTube money he's bringing in, but could you imagine if he did know it was fake? And which here's the thing though. And the company, if you saw the video, the company that I guess what was it like certified the box?
Yeah, that's what I didn't understand either.
Yeah. So the company that certified the box and basically said that it was legit was there to open the box. And of course it was fake. So let's say for instance that he did know it was fake and everyone was in on it. Feel so bad for that company because now they're like a joke. It's like they're gonna lose like thousands, if not thousands of dollars from people not buying and selling their stuff.
All the stuff they probably authenticated, all these people probably don't believe it now, That's terrible.
It's terrible.
They're offering 50% off authentications now, so just to help get their money back.
It's wild. All right, so let's move on. Overrated, underrated, number 7, Mike, the Goodwill bins.
Extremely underrated. It's a stressful time going to the bins. I don't particularly enjoy it, but like whenever I leave with everything, like $800-900 worth of potential profit for spending like $55, it's just it's unmatched. I love the Goodwill bins, but I do get into a lot of trouble buying like a lot of junk there. Like, oh, this is really light. I should just buy it, even if it sells for $5. So that happens a lot. I have to really, work on my willpower, I guess, to just only look for what I should be looking for, I guess. So, but extremely underrated. That's probably my favorite place to source. even if
Okay,
it does
nice.
stress me out.
Nice. I know what are some good strategies that you have to go in the Goodwill bins? Are you the person that stays there all day? Like, are you going for the new bins? Are you laying low, getting some bins that have already been there? Like, what's your strategy?
I'll usually stay like an hour, just
Really?
until I
Okay.
start sweating real good. Yeah, I'll
Oh,
usually stay like an hour.
this
And
guy, you have something in common with this guy right here.
Love it.
yeah, I get sweaty real quick.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll usually stay like an hour. And I don't like people touching me. I don't like people near me. I stay far away from everyone. Like, I don't, because people are crazy at the bins. You can be picking up a pair of pants and you'll have like a TV rolling across your knuckles. Like, it's, I stay away from everyone.
Yeah, nice. All right, so let's move on to number 8, overrated, underrated, Dustin.
French dips, the sandwich.
I've never had one.
You've never had a French dip?
No, but I
Overrated then.
typically don't care for soggy bread, so I'm going to say
Okay.
overrated.
that.
I'm going to say overrated.
Nice. You don't want to take the sandwich, dip it in that au jus sauce, and take a big bite of that sucker?
No.
Those
No,
are
Just
I
don't
have
like
to
that.
be careful what I eat. Like, if anything drips, it will get into my beard and stay there for
Facts.
a long time.
Yeah. Facts. Let's see here. Random chick picker says, been to the bins one time, none in my area, but I will be driving to Nashville soon to go. There's 2 here, so let me know when you do. We can meet up and go to the bins. Thrift Native says French dips is underrated. It's so good.
It's true.
So hey, you might be missing out, Mike.
I might be.
So okay, next one up, overrated, underrated, Mike. Number 9, tape dispensers.
Tape dispensers? Like to resell?
No, just to use as a tool, anything like that.
Okay, so I like having a tape gun. I do not have a tape dispenser. I don't think I'll ever get a tape dispenser. But
What do you mean by a tape gun?
What's that?
What do you mean? Like, what's a tape gun?
It's like one of the things you hold and like.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean by tape dispenser. Like tape gun. Yeah.
Okay, so if you mean tape gun, I will say just like thermal printer, like appropriately rated. Like, it's something I think every reseller should have. I remember going to Walmart and getting like one roll of tape just when I first started, like ripping individual pieces and, putting it on the box. But with a tape gun, it's so easy. I think every reseller should have one there. And I think every reseller does have one. So I'll say appropriately rated.
Okay. I don't know if I'm a moron, but every time I use my tape gun, it always gets jammed up and I spend more time trying to fix it than just tearing the tape. So I think I got to get a better one, if not like maybe like a better dispenser. I don't know how you feel, Dustin. Let me know how you feel about that.
The good one from our local mailbox place, the 3-inch one. It's money.
Okay. I might have to get that one. Marie says, I want a big tape dispenser. The damn tape gun cuts me every time. See, I don't know. Maybe it's just a certain brand. Maybe I got to get like a industrial, like
got to
one, or I don't know.
Mine's metal and everything.
See, the one I have is plastic. So I think I might have to get a better one.
So you're messing up.
I know. All right. Overrated, underrated, number 10, Dustin.
Number 10, Toad, the Mario character.
I'm going to say underrated.
Okay. Shout out to Toad.
Character in Mario Kart. Whenever I go to Dave and Buster's, pick them pretty much every time.
Nice.
So underrated.
Nice. Let's go. So I know now, I don't know, my wife is like super good at Mario 64, and they recently re-released the same game on the Nintendo Switch. You can play it online. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna school you in this game. I feel like they made it harder. Like, it's a struggle for me just to get third place.
Huh, really?
On the Switch. I don't know what it is. If we're playing Mario Kart 8 like the new one on the Switch, I'm tearing it up, man. I'm going online. I'm facing people in Japan, and I get at least top 3, you know. But if I'm playing 64-bit Mario Kart, I'm in the back of the line, you know. I don't know what the heck is going on. I feel like it's a lot harder. So
Lost a step.
I lost a step. I sure did. Son of Las Vegas, this is popping in from a baby shower to say, what's up? Coochie. Okay, good to see you, man. Baby shower. Okay. Aloha, fam. Good to see you, Sonny. Glad. Hey, Sonny just had get this, guys, a 12-hour live stream last Thursday. That was crazy. He was on live for 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
So
I don't even think I'm up 12 hours on a normal day.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So, Mike, there you go. That concludes our segment of the show. Overrated, underrated. Thank you so much for playing. That wasn't that bad, was it?
No, I enjoyed myself. I love that.
There you go.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, there you go. So, guys, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to Mike's on TikTok, on his Instagram. He has 2 live shows, one with Thrifter Sifter, one with Chris with Flip the World. Make sure you check those out. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, the Nashville Flippers, do so, because at 3K we are going to be doing a giveaway. So I hope that you guys do that as well. So if you want to support the channel, or if you want to support us, Dustin, myself, the best way to support that is by going over to our merch store and purchasing some fantastic looking merch. I'm currently working on the new shirt for spring. We got something really good cooking in the books. So you guys will be able to see that probably next month. So that'll be really cool. But if you guys want to purchase anything from the merch store, go down in the description below, and you'll be able to check that out. So, Mike, we have, since the first time that you've been on the show, we transitioned into a new segment on the show called Skip or Flip. We're going to show you 3 things. We're just going to show you the pictures. And if you were to find these at the thrift store, at the Goodwill bins, at the garage sale, would you be skipping or would you be flipping? So, and I want to know everyone's opinion in the chat if you're going to be skipping or flipping. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Dustin, are you ready?
I am. Let's go.
All right. So the first one here, this is a good one. All right. Are you skipping or are you flipping, Mike? For the people that may be listening to this on the podcast, I am currently showing Mike a video game. It is Madden 09 for the original Xbox. It's got Brett Favre on the cover. It is I believe it's complete. It's got the instructions. It's got the game. The disc is super crispy. So, Mike, if you see this at a yard sale, garage sale, Goodwill, what are you doing? Are you skipping or are you flipping?
I'd say skip, just because it's a sports game and they don't usually hold much value, just because there's a new one every year. But okay. I know there's a few games that hold like value because of, they maybe didn't make the game anymore, like NCAA 14, or like if someone special is on the cover. I'm going to say skip. Like if I saw that, I would honestly just walk right by it.
Okay. What about you, Dustin? You skipping or you flipping?
I'm skipping so fast.
Skipping so fast. All right. We have Marie saying she's flipping. We have our boy Miss Al Diggs. He's in the building. He says, skip that junk. Madden did just pass away. So RIP Madden. Shout out to Coach Madden. So tell me, so you said a lot of sports games, you're not picking it up. What about you, Dustin? Like, what's the reason you're skipping here?
It's Madden. I mean, they made millions of copies of those, and they just didn't stop making them.
Okay.
Like Mike said, with NCAA 14 and 13 are the ones you want to look for, because those still have pretty good money.
Okay.
Wait, nice. Was there even was original Xbox around in 2009?
Yeah. Yeah, 2005 was the release of the 360.
2005? Right, Dustin? 2005?
Yeah, 2005, okay. Yep.
All right. So Mike just brought up a great point. So this actually sold for $49.95. The reason why this sold for so much is because, like, to Mike's point, this was the last Madden game that came out for the original Xbox. So the Xbox 360 was already out. So, and this is a good tip for everyone. The last sports games for every console, those are usually worth more for that console. Now, the Madden 09 for the 360, it's not worth anything. The Madden 09 for the original Xbox is worth some money, especially because this particular cover, Brett Favre was actually retired and then he came back and played for the Jets. So this is the first cover that released for that game. They re-released the cover with him wearing the Jets uniform. So there you go. So, for example,
something definitely looked off about it. I knew. Yeah,
you got a good eye, Mike. For example, Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Wii U is worth pretty good amount of money, because I think that was like one of the last games that released for the Nintendo Wii U. So, all right, so let's move on. Skip or flip, Mike. So, what do you think about that first one?
I mean, that was a challenge because I would have definitely, like I said, like 100% honest, I would have walked right by that. I mean, I could have seen it, 2-3 times out at Goodwill, but I'd walk by it every single time.
There you go.
Probably even still now. I might be on the lookout for it a little harder though.
There you go.
That's crazy.
All right. Next one up, skip or flip, Mike. All right. So for the people that are listening, we are looking at a Pokemon card. This is a Charizard Full Art V. It is graded a PSA 10, which is the best grade that you can get for a Pokemon card.
What set is that from? Darkness Ablaze?
Darkness Ablaze. I think it's Darkness Ablaze.
I'd say, like, if I pulled that from a pack, I don't think I'd send it to PSA. I mean, what did that go for? Maybe $110, I'd say. I don't know. I'd skip.
You skip? All right. What are you doing?
I would never send that card to PSA.
I'm right there with them. I'm skipping.
You skip them? You're skipping? But it's a PSA 10. What do you think, Mike?
I'm saying $110 max on that.
Out of that set, the Charizard V Max was the one to look for.
Okay. So people are saying, Crystal Bear is saying skipping. She says, wait, I won one. What? I don't know what that means. Skip-ish. I don't know. So this is a perfect grade. So so what do you think, guys? Skip or flip? You're both skipping. So what about if you find it at a yard sale? Let's say they want $30 for it. You picking it up or are you dropping it?
Oh, yeah. If I found that for $30, I'd pick it up. I'd probably pay up to $50 for it, because even if I couldn't make much of a profit, I still have a PSA 10 Charizard. So I'd probably pay up to $50 for it.
What about you, D?
Yeah. If it was ungraded, no. But yeah, with it being a graded one.
All right. So here we have this one sold for $31.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
$40.
Was that an auction or was that buy it now?
Yeah, auction. One bid. So they all range. I made sure they all range the same. So guys, just so you know, a lot of these Charizard cards, they're not all built the same. Like this one, like Mike was saying, this is a very common card that you would get out of this set. Someone just luckily got it for graded a 10, and it's still not worth a lot because people don't want this card. Like, why would you want it? So
it still looks pretty nice, though.
It's nice. It's a nice card, but like you said, it's only going for $30. It costs $25 just to get it graded. So it's like, what are you doing? So Marie says the Xbox game Ray 50 is good. It's good. 50 is good. Tight or is right? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So 50 is good because it's like a sports game. So all right, next one up and last one we have here, Mike. Overrated, underrated or excuse me, skip or flip. Let's see. What are you doing here, Mike? Oh man, I put the wrong thing on here. Oh, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. NB. Oh, can't say it out loud because then you're gonna know what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you skipping or flipping, Mike? Here we go.
I'm nervous for the last one.
Let me know. Let me know, guys. Let me know, everyone in the chat. Why didn't that pull up? Here we go. There it goes. Let's see here. All right. NBA Elite 11 for the PS3. Are you skipping or are you flipping? For the PlayStation 3.
I think flipping because I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a game.
It's got Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder jersey on the front cover. It's complete. It's got the game, NBA Jam promotional items in there. So what are you doing, Dustin? You skipping or you flipping?
See, never heard of it.
Yeah, I never heard of it. I'll just say flip just because.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
You already ruined it. You ruined it, right?
Yeah, my bad.
Flipping.
What? So I don't know how good. I don't
10,
know. Yeah, that's 10,000.
What?
So this guy's, what was it? I don't even know. NBA Elite 11. This is the rarest sports game that you can buy. Period.
Yeah, I'd say so. $10,000.
This is the rarest one that you
should
can
have bought that back in 2011.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason why it's so rare, because it's one of the rarest sports games that you can buy. Just the game alone, or like the case and stuff, it sells for a ton of money. So what happened is they were going to release this game. The game is completely unplayable. It's got so much bugs, like they didn't even bother to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the game never released, but because at GameStop you could pre-order the game and they got the game early, so they were given out to the people that pre-ordered the game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a game that never even released, and there is some still out there, and they're worth a ton of money. I mean, there's the infamous, there's glitches everywhere on this game, and just the box is worth a ton of money. If you can find the game, it's worth a ton of money. So if you're at the thrift store, if you're at Goodwill, if you're at a garage sale and you find this game,
wow,
it's worth thousands of dollars. So
that's insane.
There you have it. What do you think about that, Mike?
If I sold something for $10,000, I would buy a good pair of shoes and walk it to the customer. Like I wouldn't even
walk it.
No risk. Like
Love it.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Landshark was saying that's new sealed. No, that is used. 10 grand. So let's see here. Let's see. Hope to find it. Flip it for sure. Oh man, if you find it, it's a game changer. Yep, I said suck at this game. What's up? Julio, Mexican picker, he's in the building. Landshark says, wow, that's worth the price of admission for the show. Yeah, there you go. What's up, Nashville Flippers? Just dropped by and say, hey, good to see you, Drew. Glad you can stop by and say, hey. So, yeah, guys, if you see, what have we learned today, Mike, from skip or flip?
Some sports games can be worth a ridiculous amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And not every Charizard is created equal. That's what I learned today.
There you go. I'm currently working on a YouTube video of the top 10 sports games that you should be looking for out in the wild. So stay tuned for that, because not all sports games are built the same. So, all right. So that concludes our segment of the show, Skip or Flip. So thank you so much for playing, Mike. So Mike, I know that you've been, we're at an hour, so we got a couple more questions for you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, if you guys have not already subscribed to his YouTube channel, or I'm sorry, his Instagram, his TikTok at Jiggly Thrift, he's got 2 live shows, one with Flip the World Chris and one with Matt Thrifter Sifter. What are the dates? What are the days that you do those, Mike? So everyone knows.
So, me and Chris, we had planned every other week we'd do the show, but we've been talking a lot about it. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be an every week thing here soon. If we're going to keep it every other week, and then with Thrifter Sifter, it's we've been doing like pre-recorded shows with the guests, so it's just been like whenever it's like we have a day set, like it's sometimes Friday, sometimes Sunday, like earlier in the day, but it's just pretty much when it's the most convenient for everyone. We sit down for like an hour or so and record. So that one's not like like a set schedule, like live show. That's just like no stress, get to learn about other resellers.
That's great. And you can find those on Matt's channel, right? The Thrifter Sifter YouTube channel. Perfect. So go check that out for sure, guys. And again, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, the Nashville Flippers, do us a favor and subscribe. We're trying to give out some prizes at 3K, guys. We're going to pick random winners on the live stream once we hit 3,000 subscribers. Hey, you never know. We can find NBA Elite 2011 at the thrift store, and we might give it away, right, Dustin?
I ain't giving that away.
There you go. Let's see here. Mexican Picker says, speaking of sports games, just sold this weekend NCAA football 2014 PS3 for $145 on Macari.
Wow.
That's the one to look for. And I don't know if the market on that may burst if they end up making a new video game, because I know that with the new NIL rules, they may come up with a new video game, like all that stuff. So it may not be worth anything in 2 years.
I've seen everything from like 90 all the way up to like 150 for that game. I still haven't come across it, but it sells for a ton of money for a reason. It's not easy to find.
Yeah,
it's the last game for those consoles. So
that's true.
I think it'll still go for pretty good money.
Yeah, I know too that you can go online and download the rosters for the current players on those games, and upload them somehow. I don't know, but you can do that. So Rachel's back, and she says, "Don't forget to hit the thumbs up." Thank you so much, Rachel, for that. So Mike,
yes,
let's talk about, you've been reselling. You finally went full-time reselling, which is amazing. So let us know some of the struggles, some of the things that you might have been going through during that transition and where you are now. Maybe some tips that you may have for people that are like, what are some of the things that you learned from, if you were to go back in time and tell Mike, you need to do this because it's going to be a lot easier. Like, what would you tell yourself, 9 months ago?
I guess I'd tell myself to go full-time sooner. I just thought of, whenever I was at, not going to say perfect health, but before I fell and injured myself, I was, reselling. And, I was just telling myself for every sale that I made, I just, it's great, but I got to go back to work the next day. I just tell myself like all of the like negative things that could happen if I quit my real job, So, and so far, none of those bad things that I thought were going to happen have happened. I mean, the health insurance was a big stressor, and I had that figured out 2 days after, I left my job, like it was just, it's not as bad as as you think, I guess. If I could go back, I would have probably, left sooner.
That's good. And, I tell people, of course, Dustin and I always talk about this. Have a plan before you go full time, of course. Make
Yeah.
sure you know what your expenses are and then what you need to do, all that's good stuff like I'm sure you were doing. But
Yeah.
bet on yourself. You if it didn't work out, you can always go back to your old job or find a job. You just never know until you try it.
Yeah.
So believe in yourself, of course, and reach for the stars, baby. That's my motivational speech for today. But that's awesome. What about some practical things that you would tell yourself? Like shipping, listing, just little tips and tricks that you might have told yourself when you first got started.
I didn't even have a thermal printer whenever I went full time. So I'd say right after you get your last paycheck from your job, buy the thermal printer with it, and that's how you start by investing in your business. And then you got a $400 printer, so I have to take it more seriously. I'm not saying that like I didn't take it seriously when I started, but just like I guess I should have been more confident myself and invested into the business, and I would have got a thermal printer quicker. And can't really think of anything else. It just all happens so fast. It's like I don't know. It still feels like yesterday was like my last day. Like
that's now you say it's all happening so fast. Like, do you ever like reflect? Like, are you just go? Like, do you set? My next question is, and we can lead up to this question. Is like, what goals do you have for yourself in this coming year? Because one of the things someone told me this week, and this kind of stuck with me. It's like if you don't set goals, life is just something that happens to you. You know what I mean? It's just like you have to set goals along the way to be able to achieve. Because if you're just not setting goals, you're just kind of, I don't know, like piddling around and not doing anything. It's like you feel like you're doing something, but you're just not
kind of like
doing.
Doodle Bob. Kind of like Doodle
so
Bob.
far, like I swear, like my goal has been just have fun and enjoy my time off that I have now. Like, I do my thrifting, I clean shoes, I list stuff. I'm a full-time reseller, but like, I love taking days off. Like I love going places instead of working. I'm just, kind of just not struggling. I'm just, living life right now, I guess. So like, as far as reselling goes, like I'm definitely not like at my peak, but like, I'm doing more than enough to get by, and I'm having a ton of fun. So
that's awesome. Now, have you set any goals for yourself, like maybe personally or for your business, or maybe you and your girlfriend relationships? Like anything like that. Like we're gonna see a little Jiggly, maybe sooner than later.
No.
Things like that.
No. No, not really. I mean, honestly, I've been in the new year so far. I have been a little bit harder on myself to like get listings up, like 8 listings up a day. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I didn't want to say that as like a big time goal or whatever. Like, oh, I try to get 8 listings up a day. I'm full time. I'm sure there's part-time resellers getting 30, 40 listings up after working a 10-hour shift. But yeah, that's just been my goal, like 8 listings a day, and just try to build upon like what I did the day before. Just like 8 listings, get my shippings done in between, and just enjoy myself in the spare time.
That's good. I mean, you say 8 listings a day, it depends on who you are, right? So it's like if your work-life balance, is not where you want it to be, like for you, it's like, okay, this is what I need to do on top of everything else to have like the work-life balance that I want for myself and my relationship, and and what I want to do in my life. Like you said, I want to take a day off, maybe Monday through Thursday. I don't do anything, and then the weekends, that's where I'm hustling and I'm bustling. So it depends on the person, I would think. So Chris is saying grow a beard, moisturize long locks. That is, I guess those are his goals for this year. You have a great beard. Don't make me cry again, LOL. So yeah. So last question that we have for you, Mike, and just in general, give us some tips for someone that may be an experienced reseller now that you're a little more seasoned, and give that an experienced reseller may find helpful for the tips that you're given, and let us know some tips for a reseller that's first getting started, because I know that you give out fantastic tips on your social media for a lot of people that are first getting started, and they take your advice into high consideration. So for people that are listening to the podcast, let us know, man, what are some good tips?
I'd say just for anyone, no matter where you are, like in life, like whether you're doing reselling and putting like information on social media, or like you're really doing anything at all, just like never compare yourself to other people. I feel like I've been hearing that a lot recently, and that's a good tip, just like, because I mean, for anyone that's full time, you're home alone all day with, items you got to list and your thoughts. So it's just like, you don't want to, get too down on yourself, comparing yourself to anyone else. So I'd say just focus on set goals, and just whether they're big goals, small goals, whatever, just set goals for yourself and just work towards that. Don't try to, catch up with anyone else, or my 90-day total needs to be this, or, just like, I don't know. I just say, like, don't be too hard on yourself. Just get the work done, and,
That's good.
do your
I know
thing.
I want to do a video about people's 90-day totals, and I wouldn't say like the voice in my conscience or whatever saying like you don't need to do the video, but like part of me wants to do the video or whatever, because I feel like when I first started getting started, or when I first started reselling, I would see people's 90-day totals and I would get incredibly discouraged. Like, oh man, so and so is making 330 grand in his 90-day totals. It's like, man, I'm barely making $900, or $1,000.
Mhm.
But it's like, if you really look at the numbers, like that's gross profit. You don't know what they're like. Let's say $30,000 90-day total. One of their items could be worth 10 grand. They could have sold the NBA Elite 2011 for 10 grand, and really not. They're only making, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
those numbers are really skewed, and I feel like those people need to know that those numbers are skewed. You have other expenses, you have your cost of goods and other things like that. But for me, when I first started reselling, like those numbers were incredibly discouraging because I didn't know. So it's like I feel like I need to tell people, but I don't know. I don't feel like I need to make the video yet, but
That's what I was going to say. Just like, yeah, I never, because everyone gets to their 90-day total in different ways. So I never, like, I'm not saying like if you show off your 90-day total, like, like if you have a humongous 90-day total, you should be proud of it. You worked hard for it.
True.
But I just more or less like to just show like what I find, what it could sell for, or what I did sell it for. Not like I sold all this stuff, look at my 90-day total. I just pretty much like, because I really enjoy like the what sold videos, like on YouTube and stuff. So I just try to make like a what sold video just fit for TikTok. Like I sold this one thing, or I found this one thing, it sells for this much. Not like this is how I made $30,000 in 90 days. I like to be more like, look what I found. You can sell it for this much.
Gotcha. That's good. We need to go back to making what sold videos, don't you think, Dustin?
I need to bring them back.
We used to make one at least once a month, like the top 10 things that we sold. So
we need to bring it to top 5 and do it.
Yeah, I think so too, Dustin. Put that on the list for sure. But yeah. So Mike, that concludes it, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you stopping by. And
thanks for having me on again. That was a really fast hour and a half.
I know, right? They go by pretty quick. So do you have anything else that you might want to say to the people?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered it all. Played some fun games. answered
Nice.
some serious questions. It was a good time. It was a nice, complete show.
There we go. Complete. Like, here we go. Hold on. Let's see if anybody else has any questions in the chat. Please do put them down there. No one watches the what solds, it seems. See, I feel the same way, but
You got to make them interesting. They've been my best performing videos. You gotta like put some weird stuff in there. Be like, you know, I sold these normal things, but look at this weird item I sold. You know, just something off the wall that's not going to be like, I sold this pair of shoes. I sold this pair of shoes. You know, and never say how many items you're going to show. Like if you do a what sold video, don't be like, these are 5 items that I sold, because people will see that last item and then just immediately click away.
Gotcha.
But if they're like, oh, there might be more, they'll stay and watch. So never start the video by saying how many items you sold.
That's good. Hey, that's good advice for sure. We always find random stuff though, because you know we most of the inventory that we have are from bins, and so like for example, and I don't know if you saw the video that we have on TikTok. Dustin found this. Whoa, tell us, Dustin, the thing you found at Goodwill this week. I know you haven't sold it, but
it's a I guess a old person like walker / toilet.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Stand up thing. Yeah, it goes for like $140.
Really?
Open box. I was like, yeah, got it for what, $10?
And someone else's cheeks were already on it?
I think it's kind of new. It's open box.
It's new. It was just like some random hair in there.
Yeah, it's definitely new.
Yeah, it's definitely new. So we don't want any kind of cheek juice on there for sure. So so weird things like that for sure. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by, everybody in the chat. Thank you everyone for listening at home on the podcast. If you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do so. You know, leave a 5-star review so it bumps us up in the eBay or in the podcast algorithm for sure. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Nashville Flippers. Follow us on Instagram, The Nashville Flippers, and Cajun. Chris says Dustin tested and approved. Not yet. So all right. So guys, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Ray.
My name's Dustin.
And my name's Mike.
There you go. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. See y'all and God bless. Peace. See y'all. Hold on, Mike.